expand your mindset and perspective a little bit, just like how my perspective expanded here. I was in 11th grade of high school. I had just finished 11th grade and was born in Canada, but at the age of 3, I had to move to the Middle East, and I was raised there until I was 14. This is because my mom passed away when I was 3 years old, and my dad just simply could not take care of me on his own in Canada. Just for some context, both my parents land, so my dad had to go back to the Middle East, to Iran specifically. And that's where I was raised by my grandparents, went to school in Iran, did all that, but that's not even part of the story. I had to go to the Bay Area. And they did a very good job. Shout out and uncle. Now, my main point here in mentioning all of this context is just to tell you that I was not allowed to work in the United States as an intern. The idea was that during the summer, I go to Canada, I go to Vancouver, and I rent out a place for myself, try to get a job, try to generate maybe $1,000 that I spent. So I used all the money that I had in my savings account, $3,000 something, and I put it all down on rent for 3 months. I was living literally in someone's basement. It was not very fun. Honestly, this is the first time I caught a glimpse of being independent. Exactly what I did for the next month and a half. At one time, I was standing in front of the mirror, I was flexing, and somehow I knew how to approach the body. The guy comes up to the gym while I'm posing for the action. I'm like, yo, how do I pose? So I'm making a phone call to the guy about 10, 15 minutes, and he asked me, yo, have a job? And I said, yeah, I have a job, but I'm like really not making any money. I was making about $14 an hour, Canadian dollars. It's like $11 US. My plan for making money back in the United States was completely wiped off the table within the first 2 months. I knew that there was no way that I was going to come back to the United States with any amount of money. I was just kind of trying to survive in Vancouver. Of course, this guy offers me a second job. He asked me if I've ever done sales before. My idea of a salesman at the time was like a suit and tie.
Suppose there's a lesson to be learned in all of this.
I didn't even know.
He who attempts to
guys
fight
like,
nature
okay, be
will
ready tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning. We're gonna pick you up. I'm like, what the fuck? Next morning rolls around 7 in the morning. Two random dudes pull into my crib with a truck. Hop in the truck and we go down to like one of the shittiest neighborhoods we have in Vancouver. Hands me a little t-shirt that says the company name, home exterior cleaning. I hop out of the truck with the sales manager, the same guy that I talked to the night before at the gym. Let's call him Jim. So we walk through this residential neighborhood. It's not anything crazy, but Jim walks up to the door. The first door that he knocks on, sells that client for $8,000.
Hyperion reminds you that any unauthorized behavior will be rewarded with a one-way trip to the grinder.
Why he wants to use the gutters, and that was he closes the deal for $800.
Damn it, some jackhole broke the clock tower! How the hell am I supposed to know what time it is now?
You found the battery. Plug it into our medicine machine and buy some skull shiver medication. Please. Once I find out who thought we needed a running clock more badly than we needed shiver medication, they will be thoroughly reprimanded.
The reason why I had the imagination of, oh, you get a job and
requisition officer wandering the Highlands. Get the medicine from him. Without his guards, I'm sure the salesman will give you a good price for his medicine. Suggest killing them politely, if possible.
We go and talk for another 3-4 hours before I have to go to my actual
The
job.
Hyperion grinder lottery is almost upon us.
Merchandise from an arms dealer. Man's got to protect his business after all.
He gives me $200
And if you pick up the
nothing.
shipments
Like, I was
quick as
literally
you
just
can.
walking behind this guy, shadowing him. What he does, and he just paid me $50 an hour. Huge spoiler alert. I know this is gonna come as a massive shock to you guys, but I fucking quit my job that day. I could have dealt with the situation a little bit more professionally, maybe put in like a 2-week notice. But I did not want to spend another minute at that restaurant. I could be out on the street maybe like 100 times more than I would make. So anyways, for the next month, I'm out every single day, 8 to 9 hours a day, knocking on doors. And the first week, I did have to shadow the guy to learn exactly what to do in front of the door. After I got it down and I started going out by myself, knocking on the doors, trying to sell them a service that they actually do not want to get that summer. I got
Thank you for riding the Psycho Express! Fall aboard! I'll be collecting your tickets! We have beverages on the dining car!
$1,000. Make that $1,000. Next summer I'm gonna go back. that was on my phone. I found the money. I vividly remember I landed at 9 a.m. By 11 a.m. I was out on the street in my neighborhood, not talking. I can't get a job. Oh, it's so hard. I can't find the right job, the right fit. I didn't give a fuck about any of that. I didn't give a fuck about the legality. I just wanted to make money.
The last medicine shipment was being delivered by boat, but we lost contact.
So that's exactly what I did. And within the first week, I landed like 10, 20 recurring clients. I made so much money in the first week that I literally had to hire my friend. Like, I had no other option. I hired one of my boys. I was paying him $20 an hour, which is a lot higher than minimum wage. Another 2 weeks passes, and I'm like, wait, I did all this things. Like, you know, I did the sales work, but I was actually scrubbing and gutter cleaning and the window cleaning and all that. You are supposed to do that as a salesman, just so you understand exactly what type of service you sell. So I was on top of the work, and I'm so glad that I did that because it made me realize how fucking it is. Selling gutter cleaning, window cleaning, and gutter cleaning.
They won't stop!
Clean out some of the debris that's in the gutter. Usually it takes about 30 minutes to an hour. Anyways, as soon as we got to
and I love it when you splash on my windshield!
Signed up, I had to hire so many home exterior cleaning jobs where I had to hire all those I would hire my best friend classes for other people. I dramatic, this sound
Your liver is a hood ornament!
revenue. I was making a shitload of money. And as an 18-year-old, bro, when you get a little bit of money, you just immediately start flexing it. So I was in class, like fucking money spreading the table and shit, bro. Not looking back at it, bro. That shit was so if you made it to this point of the video, first of all, congratulations. You might be asking yourself, exactly.
Be careful.
What I learned specifically was the skill of sales, and I did it through a company that was doing exterior cleaning. Now, there's all kinds of different companies that do sales. There's solar, home exterior cleaning, obviously, bug spraying, like insect spraying and shit. Now, why is it that I say sales is the most important skill?
Got all the medicine. Efficient.
Not the
Very
money. The money
efficient.
always
Now,
flows.
Period doesn't
I was social
like
and I
it when
did
we
know
leave
how
our
to talk to people, go yourself in a position like that where you're in front of someone or you're not one bothering them and you're trying to sell them thousands of dollars worth of something that they probably don't even want. That is when you are really learning how to speak. Being able to deal with rejection and objections is the most valuable life skill that anyone can really learn how to put yourself in other people's shoes and understand what the other person actually wants and how you can make yourself the person that they would trust and like. And again, I keep saying this with every aspect of things that you learn in sales. That is, again, the most important thing in the world. When you learn sales, how to properly talk to people, especially at the there is no more awkward conversation. No conversation that I've had in the past 3 years has ever been awkward. I have never ran out of things to say. I've never let the conversation die. My speaking skills were top notch, and my confidence. If you're a sales guy and you're watching this video, go in the comment section and tell me how confident you feel after a good day of closings. I genuinely feel like there is no job that gives you that level of confidence as sales. There were honestly so many things that I learned while doing sales. I had to write down all the shit that I learned. It plays such a huge role in my life right now. Having to deal with rejection, obviously you're constantly getting told no, you're constantly getting doors slammed in your face. You might even have a cracked out homeowner that can pull a gun on you. Yes, that has genuinely happened.
You can bring me medicine all day. It don't make you less of a stag sucker.
Sorry about Dave.
Teaches you discipline. Like, I was under the sun for 8-9 hours a day, and it's genuinely this type of mentality.
Return to me for your agreed upon reward.
You're walking home with $0. There is no hourly pay. There is no safety net. If you don't sell jobs, you are not eating dinner. So it doesn't fucking matter if 100 homeowners customers slam the door in my face and say, no, we don't want your products, we don't want your services, I simply just move on to the next store with a smile on my face. Because every no that I get, I am
Now that
one
our
step
brains aren't
closer
going to
to
rot
yes.
from the
Also,
inside,
being able to
let's
pull
move on
pitch
to
like
point
this,
2 on my agenda.
everyone at the door
Revolt.
listen to whatever you're saying.
For them
Very
to shake off
skill.
Hyperion
Objectives
control,
are
will only
kids
the
be
town will
used
need a
for
shield like
discrete zones,
sanctuaries
like
to protect it
littering
from
or
no sharp
any
profanity.
kid
wits.
can learn. If
If
you
you could
ask their
donate
parents
some
right
shields
now,
to
they
the
would
town,
probably love
I
to
could
put you in one of
scavenge
these
them and
classes.
build us a
Speech and
shield.
debate is something that will always have my full support. I will always be back in speech and debate classes, and anyone who takes speech
Just
and
drop
debate
whatever
classes, bro,
shields
I
you
have
no
so
longer
much
want
respect.
to the
And
grinder.
obviously, I learned everything else that comes with the business, like building a team, learning how to leverage properly, understanding profit margin, literally anything that comes down to starting a business and managing it and running it properly and making sure it scales and continuously makes you money without increasing your work hours. Again, extremely valuable skill. Another thing that's very random, but I feel like Americans fucking suck at it, is being able to communicate with someone with a massive language barrier. I have close Chinese and Indian homeowners that did not speak a word of English just by using Google Translate and being able to get my point and value across. I speak a very specific way when I'm talking to someone that has a language barrier. I'm using a lot more simple words. I may be changing my accent a little bit to get closer to theirs. Americans see some guy with a language barrier and they're like, yeah, well, paradoxically, like, dude, no one's understanding me. You're one of those people that is doubting yourself. You're not really confident if you're able to pull this off. And I cheated on every test, did not do a piece of homework, and when it got to senior year, like 12th grade, that was when I was like, okay, well, maybe I should think about like everything to do with like your AC, heating, all this other shit around the house. I would study and learn how to do that and immediately get into the job space. If you're currently in the position that I was a couple
Y'all
years
just
back,
gonna blow yourselves up.
what you're gonna do.
Better quit now.
What are you gonna study? You're not really
Thank you for your input, Dave.
There are many ways to become successful without needing to go to any prestigious university, without studying anything that you don't actually want to study or relates to what you
Overlook Shield is
If you don't
finished,
have a plan,
and I
I
would very
definitely
much like your
recommend
help
taking
testing
trade
it.
school,
Head to
some
the
kind of trade
Hyperion
like
outpost
plumbing,
near.
HVAC. These are all the type
And
of
get to
jobs
the
that
mortar
you need
cannon on
maybe
the
like
launch
a
pad.
year of experience before
Hey,
you start making
Karima,
6 figures a
know
year.
what's even
Honestly,
better than
that would
having
have
a
been my
working
plan B
shield?
if I didn't do social
Not
media.
being a woman.
Massive fear to then maybe land a job that'll make you 60 grand a year. Nothing wrong with that if that's the path you decide to choose, but that is something that I personally would never do. If in an alternate universe my entire presence was wiped off of social media and I had no following, no nothing, I would probably start social media again. But if that is not a possibility, I would be getting into HVAC, sales, or one of these jobs, and I will always have my mind on how can I start a company for myself for this service. In my last video, I told you guys how I was making $10,000 a month as a high school, and I gave you guys the exact method of how you do it started. But today's video is a little bit different. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, what do I do for work now? Obviously, you haven't seen any videos of you recently scrubbing through, so what is it that I actually do? How do I make money? Before we get into it, I just want to preface, I don't really have a degree. I have like a high school diploma. I never really went to college. I went to college for like about a month and a half, and in the middle of my first midterm, I literally got up and quit school, and that's the story. And I also don't come from money. Now, obviously, my family did well for themselves in their own respective countries, so making a good bit of money in the Middle East and being able to maintain a lifestyle there did not mean it's here in the West. Now, the reason why I preface all this is because I'd like to share with you everything that I have personally learned since the start of my social media journey. Now, the reason why I mention all this is just to make it clear that I've been complicated. Obviously, my parents took care of my education, but up and beyond that, as soon as I graduated high school, every single bill, rent, parking, everything was on me. I thankfully had to learn to take care of myself at the age of 18, but that's not even the story. I'm going to show you all of the projects that I worked on that I helped make just a little bit of context for those of you who don't know who I am, anyone in class garage. For the summer right before I went into 12th grade, I decided to go to the about 2 to 3 months to try to make some money. I realized that all the money that I'm spending is just money that is I got returned to all these things completely covered in sales. That's really taught me everything that I needed to know about sales for about 1 month. Came back to the United States. I implemented everything that I had learned in Canada, started my own company, hired a bunch of teens, paid them a shitload of money, and scaled the company to $30,000 a month. Now, when I finished high school, I handed them home a serious clean company that I had built for my generation. I helped them secure leads for a couple months here and there, and other than that, I was 2 days away from retirement! Gotcha! I'll take you all with me! Some AI shit that basically can predict where the market goes. Fucking bullshit. It was a pyramid scheme, and it invited me into a pyramid scheme. In my head, it was just like, I'm so uncomfortable with it. I don't know about much left. At least with home exterior cleaning, you're providing some kind of service. So at least the homeowner goes to sleep at night, the gutters got cleaned out. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of the story. This was, again, another huge turning point in my life where almost everything was taken away from me. Every single thing.
We'll all go together!
I relied on keeping this job and keeping my sales position. For about a month, I genuinely felt lost. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. So I did what almost any kid would do, and I just signed up for some college. I guess not any kid would do that. You guys would probably have a better plan than me. But I walked into my whole adult life without really like a solid plan, so that was where it was biting me. Yes, I guess it turned out pretty well. But anyways, I started learning marketing management about a month and a half into the school year. I realized that my teacher is actually not really that knowledgeable, and the kids in my class, they just one of my same kids. Bro, everybody in my class was 30 years old. The thing with this school was you pay for the classes, you pay for like a 16-year long term. It's like $3,000, and anyone can pay $3,000 and come and get a fucking degree or whatever this is. Kind of like a trade school. And yeah, going back to what I mentioned at the start, we literally started our midterm. I went through the first half of the exam, and then there was a break in the second part of the exam. I did the first half of the exam, and I got a 16 out of 30. The instructor told us to go take a 10-minute break and come back. I obviously took that 10-minute break and never fucking came back. They called me so many times, and that's what they said was so many, you know, I didn't respond. Again, another situation where I could have done a little bit better, but I just didn't want to. Now, there is something that happened in Carolina. Before I dropped out of college, I had been doing content for about 4 weeks, and the reason why I got into it is at the time I had 2 buddies that were doing social media and were making decent money. It was not too much money, but it was good money. It was definitely better than working at a restaurant. So I decided I have nothing to lose and tested out. I make a couple of videos here and there on how to do shit with your hair, how to like style your hair, how to get a proper skincare routine, how to dress better, how to smell better, all this type of content. And I was doing about 3 to 4 videos every single day for 3 weeks. And honestly, these videos started hitting left and right. I think I tapped into the self-improvement niche right before it blew up. And just right off the bat, the videos were getting like 50,000 views, 100,000 views, 200,000 views. Even some videos were getting 1 million views. I vividly remember this. As soon as I started social media, I got on the Creator Rewards program, which pays you for minute-long videos. This was when the Creator Rewards program was at its peak, so you were actually getting paid $1 per 1,000 views. Now you kind of get like 20 cents per 1,000 views. Great. I vividly remember this. The first payout I got from TikTok within the first month was about $4,282. The second month, which had just started, I made $5,829.02. Now, obviously, keep in mind this was not crazy money, but this is money that I made within the first 2 months of doing social media. I was literally in my room making 3 videos a day. That shit took me like an hour and a half. So funny thing is, when I dropped out of college, I actually didn't tell my dad. I didn't really have to. I was paying for my own school. But he would call me every week, and I'd be like, yeah, school's going great, man. I'm learning a lot with this and that. And I vividly remember when I got the second pay of that $5,800. It was the same week where in 2 days I had gone up 30,000 followers. I called my dad and I was like, okay, this is probably a good time for me to tell you I quit college. And just like any normal, responsible parent would, he fucking screamed my head off and sweared my head off for 10 minutes straight. I took it all in, not really saying anything, and then I showed him the amount of money that had hit my bank account. He's a numbers guy, right? You can't show him like your TikTok payout portal. Like, you have to show him your bank account, the exact money is in your bank account. I show him the money that's in my bank account, and I tell him that I went up 30,000 followers in the past 2 days. There was legitimately, this sounds so cliche, like there was legitimately 20 seconds of silence on that phone call. My dad looked through those numbers, and the next thing that he said is literally something that I feel like every son wishes their dad would say, and this is not something that my dad had told me a lot growing up, just because I was never the studious kind. Honestly, like, I was a fucking failure. That's really who I was. I was a genuine failure. Like, I was terrible at every sport that I played. I sucked at my studies. I was not a good kid, bro. Like, I was genuinely not a great kid. Like, I had good morals. I was a good person. It was just like, I was not making my dad proud. That's not what makes someone proud. For the first time in my life, my dad genuinely told me, wow, I'm actually proud of you. If I had gotten 30,000 followers in 2 days, I would also quit school. He legitimately said that shit. I could not fucking believe my ears. This sounds very cliche, but I swear to God, this story is as real as it gets. He genuinely said that, and I was in such disbelief. For once, I felt like I had actually satisfied my family. I had actually satisfied my dad, which was like a lifelong goal that I didn't know I had until he said it. That pushed me beyond my limits. The next couple of months with social media was out of this world. I was making a ridiculous amount of money for the amount of time that I was putting in. Now, it took me about 6 months to hit my first $100,000 a month. Now, to almost every single person watching, $100,000 in 1 month just seems like something that's so unachievable. And honestly, I was in the same position. I thought 99% of people hard capped that, I would say maybe $12,000 to like $14,000 a month. You can't really go past that unless you're some fucking billionaire somehow. I don't know. I had a very limited mindset. I didn't really care about money either until I started making a shit ton of it, honestly. Now, I'm obviously not saying this $100,000 shit to flex on you. I'm just trying to show you what's out there, because I had the same exact limiting belief that it's not possible for a kid to get that much money. And obviously, I'm not the only exception. You go on TikTok, scroll a couple videos, you will find a millionaire that is your age or maybe like 2 years older than you within 1 year. Now, it's important to focus on the common denominator here. Where do you see all of these extremely successful young guys? You see them on social media. The common denominator here is social media. Just keep that in mind as we move through the video. So obviously, as soon as the social media journey began, since the first day, I knew attention and views always means that you can sell a product. Views means attention, and wherever attention goes, myself in an authority position, I will be able to monetize social media. Obviously, the first thing I tried out did not work out as well as I planned. It was a brand called Face Fresh. If you've been watching me for like over 2 years, you probably know about it. I was basically getting hundreds of units of wash-offs and face rollers and different type of shit for
Looks
your
like
face,
them
getting them
Built
shipped
Bars
from
are
China to my business partner's house, and we would ship those orders out to customers who ordered it from my videos. Now, in total, in the entirety of the 4 months that we ran this business, we made about $30,000 in revenue. Counting profits, that's about maybe like $12,000. Not a lot of money, and the main issue was that I just didn't feel comfortable promoting wash-offs and jade. At the beginning, it seemed like something that would match my kind of content that I was making, but I didn't take into account that I actually had to make a good enough video that's this short. Honestly, I don't want my image to be the type of kid that just fucking this stupid shit with his face every single day. But I decided to start building things that relate more to my personal brand. During this period, I was doing a good bit of brand deals, and unlike a lot of influencers, I actually knew my rates. Since the very beginning, I would charge over $2,000 per single video that I would post on TikTok and Instagram. And this helped me generate a lot of side money to focus on what I was actually building in the background. Also, $2,000 is nothing compared to these sponsorships that I got. As you can see, negotiating skills does take you pretty far. Now, this takes me to my first project, which helped me hit that $100,000 a month goal. And this project that I'm going to talk about is a project that a lot of you are familiar with. That is called UMax. Now, UMax did about $6 million in revenue within its first year, and this was the actual first big heavy hit that I got involved. I was in charge of reaching out to notable influencers, making sure that those videos every single week, signing contracts, The way this whole thing came along is actually pretty interesting. I had this guy named Blake Anderson in my Instagram DMs telling me about this app, Umax. I also had him reaching out from the Umax account itself, hitting me up on my emails, and I was reading through it and I was like, what this guy talking about some face scanning app? Like, this is probably another shill, some dude in my fucking emails. I used to get a lot of those. You typically get a lot of pitches on people wanting to partner with you when you have a lot of influence. You are getting a lot of quality views. That's typically what happens. People try to use you. Blake Anderson was different. This guy was very persistent. He did not give up whatsoever. He hit up one of my buddies at the time, Lucas Packer. Lucas Packer started texting me and telling me about this whole deal, and I explained to him that I didn't really feel comfortable posting some kind of an app control over, like if this is something that I actually want to promote, that I'm comfortable promoting. He just told me something that taught me a very big life lesson that I keep near in my heart to this day, and that is you're not missing out if you just give it 15 minutes of my time, yet again, flipped my life completely around. I got on call with Blake. He was very eager to bring me on. He initially wanted to give me cash to make a couple videos. This was a stage where my brain was developing a little bit more. I was in the business, which I'd already made a decent bit of money, so I knew how to negotiate properly. I didn't want to make some $20,000 a month deal and get a quick cash grab. I wanted to actually be a part of something that I trust. So I gave him an offer that if he gives me a chunk of equity in the company, that I would do everything that he said, while the deliverable, reaching out to influencers and making a couple videos.
Bro!
As you can tell, that went very well. $6 million in the first year, and to the
Bro, I just needed like 10 seconds.
day, it gives me a very solid monthly salary. It's a very solid source of passive income. I don't have to really put more than 4 hours a month into it. It's one of the best moves I've made so far. Shout out Blake Anderson. Shout out Lucas Packer. Now, throughout these past 2 years that I've been making videos, I've dabbled into different companies. I've gotten into different types of ventures. I've gotten out of them. I've made mistakes. I've seen success. Another business that actually caught my eye that I treat as a passion project is this car rental company that I have in LA. The way it works there, my position is just strictly a consultant and an investor. I've always liked the idea of having a big fleet of cars, so whenever I go down to LA, I can just pick and choose what I want to drive. That's exactly what I do. I fund this company, I help them buy cars, and in turn, I get to drive these cars around whenever I want. And the best part about it is they're making me money. So I thought that was a pretty fun business to get into, but I can make a separate video about that if you guys are interested. So I've been doing a lot of side quests, especially in the past 6 months, and one mistake that I want you guys to take away from me, basically learn from this mistake, is don't dabble into so many different ventures. Over the past 6 months, I've been getting a very weak response from almost every single venture that I get involved in, and that's because I'm always jumping at every single opportunity that's shiny. It's a shiny object, so pick one thing that's going to work for me. That thing is on. Build one offer, something that people actually want. If you don't stop, you stay consistent, you're posting 30 times a day for 4 days straight, if that content is genuinely valuable, it is impossible that you do not see signs. Just go up to the comment, gather attention,
Beautiful misery.
a lot of you guys are buying courses and not taking action on the course material. The secret to success is once I had a skill, I turned it into a product. I saw all of these videos getting so much attention, so many views, and I how can I direct this attention to something that will actually get money? Because views and ad revenue does not mean that it's really a 5-step routine. You make content that drives attention, the right people offer something that they want, whether it's fitness coaching, whatever it might be. Find a system to sell this product consistently. That might be one short form video that consistently run on ads. Might have to work with 3 of your first couple clients. When people can see exactly what they're buying into, they're significantly more likely to convert. Step 5 is you just repeat this whole process until you see consistent $10,000 plus months. If you want to work with my team, just check the link below, or you can just watch the next video that I post on how you can scale after you get your first couple sales. You are young, I'm 17 years old, you're ambitious, I worked my face off, and you want to make
12 hours. I get it. I most definitely get it. I just gotta force myself.
I can
But
fix that.
what you do after your 9-to-5 job is what it is gonna determine whether you stay stuck or you level up in life. And if you just even do one of these things for the next 6 months after work every single day, your income, your mindset, everything is gonna change. So what's good, YouTube, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mission Cut. Back with y'all with another video today. Today we're gonna be talking about things that you should do for the next 6 months after your 9-to-5 job. This is the after hours, right? This is the 5 to 9. You got your 9 to 5. This is the 5 to 9, right? So some things that's gonna shape out your future. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's hop straight to the video, right? So this is for the people who went to work, who go to work. Who go to work every day, 8 to 12 hours, right? Probably tired. I don't got a lot of energy. But you really, you know that you want more out of it. You know that you don't just want your income or whatever, your mindset, anything, just be capped at that 9-to-5 job. You always do. You always know that, okay, I want things even if I'm not able to quit my full-time job, and you know what I'm saying? I just know that I want to do something more besides my job. This is what that video is for. So I'm telling you, don't do a good job. Right? You need money. Video is going to start. You just need a plan for the and that's where it all starts.
We'll all go together!
It's like you have to reset. You gotta reset your brain, right? You've been at work in a toxic environment. Most of us work in toxic environments, right? Most 9-to-5 environments are very toxic. You've been fed a lot of toxic conversations, a lot of toxic people, a lot of miserable people who hate their lives. They got a lot going on. They miserable, right? You've been in a toxic environment for the last 8 to 12 hours. So when the first thing when you get home, you gotta reset. You have to take time to reset. Most people, they go home, they just watch TV, they turn on TikTok, they eat a big meal, they scroll, they watch TV for long hours, and then what happens, right? They go to sleep, and then they do it over, and they do it over, and they do it over again, right? Turn into a cycle. That's why nothing changes. But instead, let's build you a reset ritual, right? So basically, this is what I'm going to do. When you first get home, take your shower, right? Take a shower. Rinse on, rinse everything off. You know what I'm saying? Get right. You know, because a clean body is a clean mind. Remember that, right? Then change your clothes. Change your clothes, put on some fresh clothes, whatever. Don't gotta be that fancy. Just put on some fresh clothes, you know what I'm saying? Then, what I want you to do is eat light. Eat very light. Even if it's just a banana, an apple, and it don't even gotta be a fruit, be a PB&J sandwich. Like, just something very light. Something that you know that's not gonna make you collapse on the couch and turn on Netflix for the rest of the night. Eat very light, right? And just sit there for 5 minutes, right? Take this time with me. You watching this video, take this time with me. Now, I need you to say to you, visualize, right? You're not tired. Tell yourself I'm not tired. I'm just transitioning. I'm transitioning my life, right? You're cutting off that worker mode. We're going out of worker mode. We're getting in boss mode. We're getting in entrepreneur mode. We're getting in that mode that's going to set us up for the next stage of our life to level up. Take that time. It's almost like meditation. It's almost like meditation, right? You know what I'm saying? You take a shower, get that shower, fresh clothes.
Never interrupt me!
Turn your phone on. Put your phone upside down. Put your phone on vibrate. Close your eyes. And tell yourself you are not tired. I am not tired. I'm transitioning my roles. This is what has to be done, right? I went to my job to get things done. I went to my job to ends meet, bills. I take care of my family. I went to fund my brain. That had to save, right? That was that thing at work. It goes away. Leave that job. leave, right? It's the reason why when they say clock out. So you need to clock out that job, right? Not leave anything, any baggage, anything that pissed you off today at work, leave it there, okay? Think about it. So the next step is something I like to call learning a skill before you can chill, okay? So this is where really the magic starts to happen, right? For the next 6 months, no entertainment or progress. So when you get home, before you turn on that TV, before you turn on TikTok, before you get ready to eat that big meal, and before you get ready to collapse on the couch, that's the easy way out. It's very easy. That's a real easy way out. Getting off work, tired. I get it. The easy way out is turn on the TV and eat you a big meal and finish job. That's the easy way out. But 30 to 60 minutes every day, learning a new skill before you can chill is gonna get you to the bag, right? Think about it. Learning a new high income skill for just 30 to 60 minutes a day, building that side hustle, working on your craft, creating content, improving yourself, improving your mental health, improving your finances, going over your finances, right? Working on your finances, figuring out how you can improve in that area. These are some of the things that's going to get you to the next level after your 9-to-5 job. You know, a lot of people say, oh, when you got your 9-to-5 job, you can be in entrepreneur mode. You don't always got to be in entrepreneur mode. It's just some of the things, your daily actions after your job, everything you do impacts your future. Think about that. Everything. You just go home, you just ate, you go to sleep. You probably didn't impact too much besides your belly. Alright? Think about that. Networking online is another one of those things. If you're going to get online, if you're going to pick up that cellular device, it better be for a damn good reason. It better be for a reason to network your business, get some content out, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever you do on your phone that is productive for you, right? Make sure it's for a good reason. This is how people escape. This is how you're going to escape survival mode, okay? Don't just wait for the weekend. The weekend is a trap. The weekend is only a day and a half. You know, you spend 5 days at work, you get 2 days, off, but technically it's only a day and a half. And that other day and a half, you spend your mind going back to work. So really, those need to be the days that you're going all in, because you're waking up and don't have to go to work. Alright, don't wait for the weekends. Waiting on the weekends is like waiting on motivation. Telling yourself, okay, alright, I'll do what I do. I'll come home now, I'll get some sleep, and then I'll wait till the weekends. Like, no, every single day needs to be productive after work. It has to be. Consistency after work is what's going to build that wealth. It's what's going to build your future self, right? So, step 3 is you need to you need to replace assumption with creation. Right? Think about it. Just was at a job for 8 to 12 hours, consuming and making another man's dream come true. Now it's time to put yourself first and make your dream come true. You are only there to take care of your business, right? Your bills, your family, and to make sure your finances stay right. But now it's time to treat yourself. It's time to put yourself before that person that you're trying to build their dream, right? Because you're just there just for a paycheck. It's just a paycheck. At the end of the day, that job is just a paycheck. No matter what, you don't care how good they treat you. It's just a paycheck. So instead of scrolling, gaming, binge watching, gossiping, you need to write down stuff, build stuff. You need to be executing, right? You need to be planning. Plan out your steps. What's the next big step to get you ahead? What's gonna get me ahead so I can soon quit this job? Soon at least have some mental peace, because I got my income a lot better. These are some things you need to do. Homes, you need to learn, educate yourself, self-educate yourself, because creation generates power. When you start becoming a creator, you start gaining power. Think about it. Just set this job for 8 to 12 hours. That's a lot of time. Believe it or not, I get it. I'm not against the 9 to 5, but we waste 8 to 12 hours of our day. And one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, bro, it's the difference. It's the difference between consuming at home and consuming at work. Now, I would rather you consume at work than consume at home. Because consuming at work, you still get money. You still get a paycheck. But you consuming at home, you're not getting paid for it, dog. That's yours.
Oh, it hurts! It hurts! baptism of blood!
You chose the law. You chose to lose. You don't get to choose your job, right? You don't get to choose whether you consume or create your job. That's just your job. But what you do outside of it, that's what you choose. So if you choose to consume some more, that's on you. That's consumption. It builds comfortable at your job. Comfortable at home. And I'd rather be making money and be comfortable than be broken and be comfortable, right? It's different levels to it. Comfort, that's what's going to keep you stuck. So, 6 months, I need y'all to have some tunnel vision, right? Less parties. This is what I need. Less parties. Less hanging out. Pointless hanging out with pointless, I didn't say pointless people, but pointless hanging out with people not aligned to your purpose or anything of that nature. I need y'all to go ahead and cut that out. For the next 6 months, cut it out. 90-day run started today. Why y'all taking this and taking it serious? It's not just about the money. The 90-day run is not just about the money.
Portable clinic. What can I get for you? Next time you're bleeding to death, just think Dr.
Born into
my brother uncle's brain.
Tick-tock! Life is pain!
Happy Mother's Day to the greatest mom a master huntsman could ask for. Now, don't get excited. I locked the... with my fist print, so you can't open it till I get home. Anyway, I'm off to go disembowel Henry the Stalker with my teeth. See you soon.
Look, over half of the millennials.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee!
You can within 90 days plus, and if executed upon proclamation, you a fool's delay.
If he ain't dead, I'll keep you that way. Set out! Next time you're bleeding to death, just think, doctor said. Nothing like a good saying. 2 words, my friend. No repros.
Take you all with me! Too many icons.
My most popular videos, right? So write down the best 5 to 7 business models and which one is best suited for you.